Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you guys my green card interview experience last September 12th this year 2019. I'm gonna share with you guys about how long it took me from the day I submitted my green card and to the day I received my interview date, what extra documents I needed to provide, and what I needed to prepare or bring to my interview, and also what types of questions were asked during my interview. So first I submitted my application in at the end of January, and in early February they received it, and then in March they sent me a request letter, asked me to go for my biometrics, which means they need your fingerprints and photo ID, and then after that you go home and wait. Not until June they sent me another request letter to ask me to send them to supplement an update of the affidavit of support, which we already submitted before we moved to the US. So we need an update and send it to them again. So I did that, and then in August, like in the middle of August, they sent me an interview letter, which said your interview would be in September 12th, so a month later. So they give us like a month to prepare, to get ready, because they give us like a list of things we needed to bring with us. So here are the things that you need to prepare and bring it to your interview. First, your interview letter, of course, and then your passport, your husband's or wife's passport, so your social security number, driver license if you have, your working permit, your birth certificate, and your husband's or wife's birth certificate. If your husband or wife has naturalization certificate, bring it. And if you have children, bring your children's certificate with you. If you ever divorced, bring your divorce certificate too. In the interview letter, it mentioned that you need to bring your medical exam, but because before we moved to the US we already submitted it, so you don't need to bring it. I saw that in the letter and I doubted, so I went to have my medical check here in the US again, but they didn't ask for it, and I asked them and they said that you don't need it, you already submitted in your country, so you don't need to bring it again. But I don't know why they put it in the interview letter, but if you already done that, I will take it. So make sure that if you already submitted in your country, you don't need to bring it again in your green card interview date. And then the affidavit of support, as I said, they already asked for my update copy in June, so I didn't have to bring another copy, but because we saw that in the interview letter they asked for it, so we just brought a copy, but they didn't need it. So the medical and the affidavit of support, you guys don't really need to bring them. Another thing that is important in the interview is that they're gonna ask you for supporting evidence. You need to bring your photos, bank accounts or joint assets from you and your husband or wife, tax, and then insurance, whatever that have your names and your husband or wife's name on it, both of your names on the paper, bring it. Utility bills or electric bills or something like that, bring them. Credit cards. So those are all the things that you guys need to bring with you guys there. But remember, all of your personal documents needs to be translated in English, and it's best to be notarized. And on your interview date, the first thing you need to do is to go through the security. You're gonna need to show your ID and your interview letter, and then after that you go to the check-in counter to check in, and then the staff will designate you to the area that you need to wait for your call. When you are called to the interview room, the officer will introduce herself first and then ask you to show your IDs and some other documents that I listed above. So after settling on the paperwork, they will start to ask you some questions related to what we filled in the application before. For instance, your name, your birth dates, your parents' name, birthdays, your husband's name's birthday, or your wife's, your current address or the addresses that you used to live in the past, where you were born, kind of things like that. And then I think they just want to verify all the information is correct, and then they will ask you to prove them what you have together. So at this point, you can show them what you have with your husband or wife. For example, show them your joint assets, bank accounts, credit cards, bills, utility bills or whatever, photos, because at this point you're gonna prove to them that you are having a real authentic relationship with your husband or wife. So show them all with that, your insurance too. And then they will ask who, when, where in the picture, because you guys took pictures together, so they're gonna ask because they want to know who and where you guys took it. And there's another part that also important, is that in the form I-485, from part A to part 9, there are like 80 questions about crimes and violation stuff. So you guys also need to go over that just to make sure that when they ask you guys understand and answer correctly. So all of the questions supposed to be no. The answer is no. But if you guys don't go over it, it's gonna get confused. And so yeah, I think it's better for you guys to go over it, and it's better to understand it than not. I read it one day before I went for the interview, so it wasn't that difficult at all. So try to go over that, because they're gonna ask about 40 or more than 40 questions, and they ask really fast. It doesn't mean that they ask you fast and you cannot ask them back. If you don't understand or if you cannot hear it, you can ask them to repeat or explain for you. But there are like a lot of questions. They're not gonna have enough time to explain for you guys like every question, right? So it's best to learn it at home, so you can save time and also leave them a good impression on your understanding. All right, so after this part, you all set. That's it for the interview. All of the questions needed to be asked already asked, so you all done. They're gonna ask if you have any questions to ask them. My interview went pretty smoothly, pretty well, so I had a good feeling for it. However, they didn't let me know if I passed or not, and I have watched many other videos too. They never give you the results right away. They told you like they're gonna send you either a letter which you have to supplement something if they asked, or they will send you a green card after a while. I asked for how long, and they said from 1 to 2 months. But some other video that I watch, some people receive their green card within 10 to like 2 to 3 weeks, so that's not bad. So I hope I will not receive any letter anymore, but my green card. So in general, I think it wasn't very hard, it wasn't very difficult, as long as you have a real or authentic relationship and you know everything about your present, your past, and all of the information that you have filled in your application, and you'll be able to answer it. There's one thing: if you are able to speak English, then it's very nice. It's a big plus. But if you can't, then bring your own interpreter, because they don't have that service there, and it will take very long for you guys to finish your interview. So make sure that you're aware of that. So that's it for my sharing today. I hope this information is helpful and it could help you a little bit to prepare for your interview. I wish you all luck and have a good day. Bye bye.